Hi, my name is Chia-Wen. Today I want to introduce our work, Automatic Construction of a Chinese Review Dataset for Aspect Sentiment Triplet Extraction via Iterative Weak Supervision at LREC-COLING 2024. Our work focuses on solving two problems: the lack of Chinese ASTE dataset and the required human resources for data labeling to create an ASTE dataset. Therefore, we propose a framework, Iterative Weak Supervision, to address these issues. My presentation will answer three questions. What is aspect sentiment triplet extraction? It is a very important question since this is about our main task. Next question, what is iterative weak supervision? I will introduce the problems and our proposed solutions in this part. Finally, I will share our experiment results, demonstrating the effectiveness of our approaches. First of all, let me explain aspect sentiment triplet extraction, also called ASTE. Before talking about ASTE, let's picture a scenario where people are looking for a restaurant or delicious food. They usually browse reviews in Google Maps or other websites to decide what to eat. And we can see people's evaluations about restaurants and foods. When we read reviews, we cannot easily understand everyone's opinion about different dishes and customer service or atmosphere. Here is a question: how to extract nuanced evaluations from reviews? As far as we know, we can only filter reviews in Google Maps by clicking given text or just typing text. We may need smarter ways to extract nuanced evaluations. ASTE, Aspect Sentiment Triplet Extraction, is introduced in 2020, which is a subtask of aspect-based sentiment analysis. It is the task for extracting detailed information from text. There are three elements in an aspect sentiment triplet: aspect, opinion, and opinions of polarity. Let's see example here. Great food, but the service was dreadful. Great describes food. Great is positive opinion term. Food is aspect. Service was dreadful. Service is an aspect term. Dreadful is a negative opinion term. Research on Chinese ABSA has some bottlenecks, as demonstrated in the following two studies. In 2021, Bu created a dataset of 40,000 restaurant reviews from Dianping app. However, it only includes predefined aspect sets and review rate ratings, without extracting aspects and their polarities. It doesn't meet the requirements of ASTE. On the other hand, Li focused on the cell phone domain on Weibo, said they are not only identify opinions and polarities, but also categorize the targets into aspects. Despite these efforts, they encountered a serious issue. Intensive manual labeling leads to small size of dataset. This problem has inspired us to study how to construct a Chinese ASTE dataset without manual labeling process. This section, I will introduce our proposed framework, IWS. IWS, Iterative Weak Supervision. IW is a workflow that utilizes three models: rule-based system, discriminator, and ASTE model. I will clarify these models later. It's important to know that IWS involves implementing these models separately, not an integrated model. First step in IWS is to input reviews into rule-based system. This system works like a labeling machine that generates noisy ASTs. We call this AST noisy because the rule-based system follows some semantic rules, so its result might be partially incorrect. Discriminator acts as a classifier to extract correct ASTs. It fills out the incorrect ASTs making correct ones as training data for ASTE models. We use the correct ASTE to train ASTE model. After training, we apply the fine-tuned model to infer on the reviews. The outputs from ASTE model are fed back into the discriminator. We repeat these steps iteratively to refine the training process. This iteration method is known as self-training. Hence, we call the entire framework Iterative weak supervision. Weak refers to the noisy data produced by the rule-based system. Now, I want to clarify models more clearly. Rule-based system is an automatic labeling mechanism. It may generate noisy ASTs. The system extracts a reduced triplet of aspect, opinion, polarity through the pipeline process. Let me briefly explain how it works. We will only cover 3 important parts of the rule-based system: aspect lexicon detection, opinion lexicon, dependency parsing. You can refer to our paper for more information. We follow related work to build aspect lexicon. It includes several aspects like food, service, price, atmosphere, and others. Especially, we expand food aspect to cover a lot of dish names, such as beef, hamburger, bubble tea. Opinion lexicon is constructed based on EHAL-net. EHAL-net includes a lot of semantic words with valence value. The value is the basis for classifying the polarity. Dependency parsing is used to analyze the dependency relations within a sentence. We use a dependency tree and apply the shortest path rule to pair aspects with their corresponding opinions. Here is our definition of shortest path. For each opinion word, its corresponding aspect is the nearest word of aspect set in dependency tree. Let's talk about problem definition of discriminator. How to check the AST is correct or incorrect? We need to answer 2 questions. Is opinion a description of aspect? Is opinion a positive or negative description of aspect? Yes/no answers of 2 questions can create 4 combinations. However, the combination where both answers are no doesn't make sense. Therefore, the discriminator classifies the AST as one of 3 labels. YY means yes, yes. Here, yes, yes. And YN means yes and no. NX means no. The function of AST model is straightforward. It takes text from a review and generates ASTs. Next, I'm gonna talk about our experiments. We use a web scraping tool to collect reviews of 189 restaurants in Taipei City from Google Maps. These reviews are processed by the rule-based system to extract ASTs, and then served as the training data of discriminator and AST model. The encoder-decoder transformer model is highly suitable for sequence-to-sequence problems. In AWS, any encoder-decoder transformer model could be the base model. For our study, we use MT5-DRCD-QA as our experimental model for both discriminator and AST model. MT5-DRCD-QA is a fine-tuned version of MT5 based on DRCD. DRCD is a traditional Chinese dataset. Here is the Hugging Face link of MT5-DRCD-QA. We designed 4 experiments, self-train A, B, C, D. They implement IWS in different ways. We aim to explore 2 questions through experiments. Is AST model able to extract opinions that do not exist in the opinion lexicon? And does using discriminator improve the performance of AST model? These two questions correspond to two experimental setups: data augmentation strategy and use of discriminator. We have two strategies to augment training data of ST model. 1. Add inference ASTs that are not in the opinion lexicon, or add all inference STs into training data. Except for self-trained D, other experiments use a discriminator to select the correct STs. Seeing the use of discriminator, self-trained A and self-trained C use it in every iteration, but B uses it after iteration 1, and self-trained D doesn't use the discriminator. Let's see the evaluation results of experimental models. Blue means smallest, red means the greatest. Compared to rule-based system, for self-training models, both get better recall in two scales of testing set. The golden answer of two testing sets are annotated by human and ChatGPT separately. If you want to know how we evaluate our models, please refer to our paper. Comparing the four experimental models, we find that A performs better than B, and C outperforms D. A is better than B means using discriminator to filter training data before first iteration is helpful. C is better than D means using discriminator may be useful for ST model during iterative training. The graph shows the quantity of STs of training data in each iteration. We hope the ASTE model is able to identify opinion words that are not in the opinion lexicon. So in each iteration, A and B add ASTs that are not in the lexicon into their training data. Meanwhile, C and D focus on maximizing their training data to boost ST performance. Therefore, red and blue lines are flatter than green and yellow lines. Compared to rule-based system, although for self-training models performance is remained, there is notable growth in the quantity of ASTs across C and D. Especially for C, both the quality and the quantity are enhanced. In conclusion, we have introduced a new framework called IWS for automatically constructing a Chinese ASTE dataset. IWS applies the self-training mechanism with a rule-based system and discriminator and the encoder-decoder ST model. Additionally, we have established a baseline of Chinese STE task. Lastly, our datasets and models are openly accessible to the public. Here is our GitHub report for public access. Thanks.